Welcome to Book Time with Ryan. I am Ryan, and today I'm doing a Herman Melville haul. And we're going to start with one that's not technically in my collection, but it's my daughter's, and it is, of course, Moby-Dick. She's heard a lot about Moby-Dick, and I thought it was time to read her Moby-Dick, and this is the illustrated just for kids edition, so it's shorter. Not as short as I thought it would be. I didn't look through it enough. My daughter's 4. She's going to be turning 5 soonish. And there's a lot of print in this. A lot more than I expected. It's also longer. I thought it was going to be something short that we'd be able to read through in a night, but there's 100-something pages in here. So we've talked about it, and we're probably just going to read a couple chapters a night at some point. But the lack of illustrations or big illustrations has, I don't know, made it less exciting for Noelia. But it looks good, so we'll see. Next up, this is not part of the haul, but my best copy of Moby-Dick is right here. This is from 1930. That's the original dust jacket. What did I get? I found this on Etsy. This is part of the haul. I got a miniature version. If I can actually get this in focus. Oh, I just have to put it in my face. So, they're the same book. The cool thing is, this actually has, well, the cool thing is the book, but it actually has pages. I mean, like, it has actual print and stuff. So that was neat. My daughter immediately wanted that, and I said no. It's actually probably the most expensive book that I got in this haul, because I think it was 20 bucks, maybe 25. But it's just so cool to have a miniature version, and this is the miniature version. It even has the same kind of coloring. I think it's made for dolls, but if my daughter still likes books after a while and she wants a book for her Barbies, I would be okay with getting another one. All right, so the main haul here. A while ago, I read Moby-Dick. I've done a review for Moby-Dick, and my wife got me this super special, thick, very authoritative version of Moby-Dick. This is the Northwestern-Newberry Edition. It's got let's see here, about 1,040 something pages. It's got the book, but it's also got a lot of extra material. And I haven't read this edition yet, but when I do reread Moby-Dick, I'm going to read it from this book and read the extra stuff in it. So I had this. I thought it was very cool. And after reading, I think after reading Lewis Mumford's book about Herman Melville, which I've also done a review for, I got White Jacket, which I also did a review for recently, and this is the Northwestern-Newberry Edition again, and I read all of it, including the extra material, and I really liked that. Both of those books were 55 bucks, purchased from the Northwestern site, I think, Northwestern University website, I think, or Northwestern University Press, distributed by University of Chicago Press. But from reading the Lewis Mumford book, I thought, why haven't I read the other books? Oh, one of the other things I figured out was this is volume 6 in this collection, the Writings of Herman Melville. So this is volume 6 in the Writings of Herman Melville series. White Jacket is number 5. And I thought, why have I not read the first, the first 4 before that? So I decided that I was going to get the rest of the first part of the Herman Melville writings series. Because there's a number of them after Moby-Dick too, but I figured get it through Moby-Dick, and then I'll probably have another haul sometime in the future with more of these books. So instead of paying $55 a book, I had an epiphany. Why not buy them used? I know it's a crazy thought, but I did that. So for the rest of these books, I paid between $4 and $10. I don't remember which one was which. I didn't really care about condition. In fact, when I'm reading books like this, I'm fine with writing being in it, annotation, whatever. It's fine. This is an educational setup for these books, and I'm cool with learning from other people's studies. So first, of course, is volume 1, Typee. This is a peep at Polynesian life, and a lot of these early books are based off of experiences that Herman Melville had. White Jacket was his time in the Navy. Moby-Dick is partially based off his time on a whaler. And this is based off of some of Melville's time in the Pacific, Polynesia. So Typee, it was his first book. It was a success. And this is a decent copy. It's the same size as my copy of Moby-Dick. You can tell it's a little bit faded. It's not as green, but I don't know. I can't tell if it's faded because of light or if they were just lighter originally. There's not a consistent size or consistent appearance of a lot of these books. All right, so Typee is volume 1. Remember that Moby-Dick is volume 6 and White Jacket was volume 5. Now going in the other order, Typee, volume 1. Volume 2 is, I don't know how to say this yet, Omu. And this is a narrative of adventures in the South Seas. This is related to this. I don't know if it's exactly a sequel or if there's just common areas, common characters. I'm not 100% sure yet. This is a little rougher copy, and I got this through Thrift Books. I don't like that they use stickers, because you can see that when I pulled the sticker off, it pulled off some of the paper, the ink, which is okay. But all right, that was volume 2. Volume 3, Marty, A Voyage Thither. This actually was hard to find online. I don't know. It's just, it didn't get as good of a reception. I also, another sticker on there I couldn't get off. And Marty, I have thought for a long time this was Madri, but it's Marty. That was volume 3. And the last of the first set that I have not read, Redburn. This is his first voyage. Being a sailor boy, confessions and reminiscence of a son of a gentleman in the merchant service. Because Herman Melville did have a little bit of time in the merchant service too. I believe this is based on his trip to Liverpool in the United Kingdom. And I think this one has somebody else's writing in it. It's kind of cool. Somebody used this for school. And I think they have really nice handwriting. I love to know when they use this. So Redburn and White Jacket were commercial successes, but they were 2 books that Herman Melville said he wrote for money. He needed money. So he wrote 2 books that people would appreciate, and they appreciated both of them, but he really did not like Redburn. He was willing to defend White Jacket, but Redburn was a book that was not from his heart. He says this. It was not from his heart. It was really from his need for money. And for most of his life, he was not very complimentary of his own book, Redburn. So that is my haul. That's the Herman Melville haul. The first two, that mini book and the children's book, kind of a haul. I think the mini book would count. It is in my bookshelves, on my bookshelves. The children's book obviously is not. That's my daughter's, so it's not usually in here. And then the four Northwestern-Newberry Edition books, although I bought them so soon after buying White Jacket that you could probably consider it 5 in the haul, but I want to show all 6. So that's volumes 1 through 6, and there are many volumes after this that at some point I will consider getting, although you can tell that they've come off of this shelf mostly, and there's not a whole lot of room left there. And these books tend to be pretty thick. Moby-Dick's the thickest one, but these ones are mid 700 pages. They do have really cool like shots of original work and manuscripts, so that's cool. I'm gonna read them in order. I have a little bit of a break since I just read White Jacket, but the next Herman Melville book I read will be Typee, and I will work my way through volume 4, and then maybe when I have finished these books, I might reread Moby-Dick. It'll be the first book I've ever reread, so we'll see. But I'm happy to have these versions, these editions of Herman Melville writings from Northwestern and Newberry. Thanks. Have a good one.